Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Grant's Rants, Hollywood Talk.
It's our Hollywood Talk grab bag episode. Celebrity burglaries continue. That BBC interview with those children makes us laugh. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Erika Jayne heads to Dancing with the Stars. But is Caitlyn Jenner headed to Beverly Hills? Megan Stecher rejoins the Rants here. Let the ranting begin. I'm sitting across from my good friend, Megan Stecher.
Hello, hello.
Hey, we're here to talk about a bunch of different things. A grab bag of sorts, if you will.
This is impromptu. I'm so excited.
Megan and I just came back from the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Chic AF.
Yes, and we had a good time. We had mimosas, which kind of inspired us to record this episode today.
True. I said, what are you doing today? And you said, nothing. And I said, we should go record a Grants Rants.
We should.
On the fly.
I'm due for a show. I've been like a little out of sorts lately. So I'm just like, yeah, let's do a show. It just makes sense. Like, we're going to talk about this stuff anyway, so we might as well talk about it with you.
I grabbed a bottle of Prosecco so we can kind of fake that we have more mimosas and just like let the convo flow.
Well, I do have orange juice in the refrigerator. If you wanted to recreate your moment, you could do that.
Don't even bother.
Yeah, we're good with this.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about a few things that we're loving and hating. We've been doing a lot of talk, of course. We've been catching up. So let's talk about something that we are loving at the moment. You talked about it right away, the BBC interview.
Oh, I cannot get enough of the BBC kids crashing their dad's Skype interview. I don't know what's my favorite part. I don't know if it's the little girl dancing in the room, if the dad face palming her to get her away from the camera is the best part, if then the baby gliding in. Or the mom's sheer panic on her face. I can't decide what is the best part of the video, but I can't stop watching it. It's just a good laugh.
I know. For those who haven't seen it, and it was me for a while, I had seen it posted quite a bit online, and then I was like, well, I'll look at it. I'm sure I'll pick up through osmosis, or someone will put it on a late-night show that I'll look at. But I finally watched it. For me, the moment that I liked was just the mother coming in, sliding in sheer panic. You can tell that they had this moment, planned, all day, at 3 o'clock, you're going to go in, you have this interview, we're going to take care of everything, go do your thing, it's only going to be 10 minutes, and then she probably was where are the kids? Looked down the hallway, saw the door open, and just was sheer terror.
Sheer terror. I guess he learned his lesson to lock the door next time.
I know. I like this moment, though, because it's innocent and it's a family moment. It's not last time we talked on this show, it was all about Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Yes. So it's nice. It's light. It's funny. Take your minds off of current world events for a few minutes.
Exactly.
Just a good laugh.
Yeah, they're few and far between now, I feel like, I just feel even with finding topics for the show, I so wish I did the show in 07, 08, 09.
Which you were saying to me at the hotel today, yes.
I feel like we need, a celebrity, a celebrity trial. That would be, I would love to cover something like that on this show. I just sunk my teeth into those Anna Nicole days. Remember with the all those men that came out, and who's the baby's father, Howard K. Stern.
Not that I want to see someone's life fall apart, but it's exciting to get swept up in someone else's life drama.
Yes. I just like something that has so many layers to it. Mm-hmm. Those were the days, but all those girls
Paris
had DUIs.
And Nicole getting arrested all the time, the jail time they had to do.
I know.
The vagina pictures that they would always get snapped, getting out of a car with no underwear on.
Amanda Bynes, I'll give her some credit. She tried to bring it back 2 years ago.
Poor Amanda.
She tried to bring it back to that level of insanity, and now Amanda's living a quiet life in Orange County, and I'm happy for her.
Yeah, I'm happy she got it together.
Yeah, where's the next Disney reject? Where are they? Who's upcoming?
I don't know. Selena Gomez is always on the fringe.
Yeah, I love her though. I have a lot of respect for her.
I love her too. I feel like she has her stuff together. So every time she announced she's gone to rehab but doesn't say for what, I'm like, well, then what is going on? Is it just mental exhaustion, stress?
I thought it was because she was just sick. Like she has
But
like
she's
that,
lupus,
right?
right?
Yeah, but she will like cancel her tour.
Yeah.
Which is odd. Like, why would you commit to those dates and that schedule? That heavy schedule. It's one thing if you you got to do like a show every 2 weeks, like fine, But like just to commit to an on the road, like an international tour when you're not well. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we don't hear much from Selena. I love her music, but I don't know where she is.
Yeah, it's like as much as she is the most followed person on Instagram, I have no idea what actually goes on in her life.
Yeah.
I actually don't follow her on Instagram or Snapchat, but actually maybe I do.
I think I do. I don't think she posts that much.
Maybe I do follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
She just doesn't come in my feed. Anyhow, who knows who the next celebrity is that we'll be following for weeks at a time.
I know. I just feel like there's a lack of craziness. I did not cover a stitch of Kim Kardashian's heist
That might
on
have
the
been
show.
the last time I was invested for days at a time in a celebrity
See, I wasn't,
story.
and I wanted to be very upfront and real on this show. Like, I just was not interested. I wasn't going to fake it. I just didn't really care. But something on that level, perhaps if it was someone else, I'd be interested. And we'll talk about it because there's a lot of celebrity burglaries, and a lot of people who have been all over Hollywood that have come home to safes full of cash missing. Unbelievable stuff.
I know, you were
But,
telling me. And
yeah.
I know I did hear this week Kendall's home was burglarized as well. So is this like a new bling ring?
I'm going to look it up. I want to know if that Kendall, I want to know where she lives. Does she live at the Oaks and Calabasas? Like, do they live in
No,
gated communities?
Kendall lives here near you.
Oh,
Somewhere in
West
town
Hollywood?
here. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing, because I've been to these high-end, like, gated communities for different jobs, like the one that Brittany lived in, the Oaks at Calabasas.
Yeah.
That's where all, like, the Kardashians originated and all that there. The home that they used on the TV was, like, the neighbor's home. They didn't actually use that real home in the first season.
Right.
And so I went in there and I was like, I just can't imagine how anyone could be burglarized in there because you need to have like a drive on. They're very large maze neighborhoods. I mean, it's funny how they're laid out. Like this one specifically, while all the homes are beautiful, more of perhaps the mid-size, not so large homes were like the first couple of miles. And then of course, the deeper you get, the more you get into like Diddy money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to imagine like how you get in here to make these heists happen. But these people must be out in the open, perhaps in the hills, or are not so guarded.
I think Kendall's here in town with you.
Well, Chris Brown lived like right around the corner from here.
Oh.
Like, but not anymore. I mean, I'm glad. I don't need to hear any
How many
gunshots
times-
in the middle of the night.
How many times did the cops get called on him, I wonder?
Exactly, yeah.
Those ragers he throws.
Yeah. He lived right on Fountain, literally like right here.
Oh my God.
I'm like, ugh. That was before I moved into the Studio G, my current apartment. But yeah, no, I don't know of anything like that now. At least I don't want to know. But yeah, no. So NBA star Nick Young, he had a safe full of cash. Just someone broke into his house, picked it up, and walked out with it. I mean, that's one way to get the money.
How many really strong men, I wonder, would it take to get a safe out the door?
I know.
God.
Footballs. I wonder if they're all connected. They say a lot of them are inside jobs. I just feel like they have to be. I mean, it's just like a heist,
This is exciting. Well, I feel bad for the celebrities getting robbed, but I'm really anxious to know, see who, once they get busted, who is this bling ring?
Right. I wonder if they all have the same security, like if they all have like ADT or something.
I wonder if this is anyhow connected to the Paris ring, because I know Naomi. What is her name? The beautiful model with the long Campbell
Yes.
came out and said she was also robbed in Paris, the way Kim was, but years ago, and she never talked about it. She was being driven from the airport, and her driver was in on it, and some people jumped in the car and was like, "We're going to kill you." And they spared her life, but they robbed her. So I wonder if there's any kind of ring here connected to them, or if the ring here is maybe borrowing the playbook from the Paris ring. That's wild. So I'm anxiously awaiting tonight's Keeping Up with the Kardashians because Kim's finally going to share her point of view of the robbery. They've been teasing it for, I think, 8 weeks now. And it's week 2 of the show airing.
Right.
So last week was a big tease, like, when's Kim going to talk about it? Nope. So it's happening tonight, and I'm going to pop the popcorn and,
Right. I may or may not watch a clip perhaps, of that on YouTube. I'm curious to see what she's going to say. But I mean, also, like, that's the thing with reality TV. Like, when did this happen? November?
October.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I feel like nowadays, with like reality TV needs to speed it up. And we've talked about this, I know even on AfterBuzz I've said this. Like, they just need to kind of fix the model a little bit. I feel like we're going to look back at this and be like, remember it took like 5-6 months to get something to air? Like, we're going to be like, that was so old and so old-fashioned. Like, people, like, who even bothered to wait that long? So I feel like they need to have a quicker turnaround. And it's just like, that's the thing. These shows, they have to get so many notes, and it takes so long for these shows to come back on air. And it's hard to do reality TV in the world of social media and such heavy news like that.
I agree. You kind of want to know what's going on with the Kardashians in their point of view a week later, not 6 months later.
I think 2 weeks is more than enough, like, to wait. By then, it's like, forget it.
It's like, I've already made my own decisions on what happened.
Right, yeah. I mean, so much has unrolled since this happened with Kim. I'm curious to see what she has to say. But, I mean, I feel like I know everything and I don't even watch the show.
I think you can kind of see a softer side of her in that she's not as dressy. She doesn't go out and make club appearances, really. It's kind of got to be a really special occasion for her to leave the house. She stayed off social media until after, I believe, was it January 1st or February 1st? So I think she wanted to come out as a softer, more approachable Kim. Kind of after this whole thing. It was like a rebranding, to me, is what I'm seeing. Less flashy, a little more down to earth. It's a lot of ripped jeans and tank tops.
Yeah, did they have some 70s photo shoot where they tried to look destitute or something?
They keep doing a lot of photos like that, where it's on a very old school camera, so that it's a grainy quality to it. And yeah, it's definitely not a room in their Bel Air mansion.
Yeah.
I think it's also probably Kanye's trying to lend his artistic lens to it, and Kim's taking that advice. So we'll see.
Yeah,
it's like Kim and Kanye stripped down.
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah.
Well, they both went through some stuff, so
yeah.
Hopefully they're both feeling better.
Have you seen the promos for this movie Life?
Tell me about it.
It's about some space movie.
Okay, wait. It's Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds? I just thought it seemed like it was too many stars for me. Like, this is becoming, like... when those movies like Valentine's Day, when there's like 30 A-list stars.
Names, yeah.
If there's too many names in a movie, I'm very suspicious.
Well, I'm really, I couldn't care less. I'm probably right in the demo for this movie that they want to see.
Like Alien?
Yeah, something like that. The film this is according to we use all type of sources here. The Wikipedia page. I'm not a fan of this movie. I'm not going to give it that much credit. It says the film follows 6-member crew of the International Space Station that uncovers what initially seems to be the first evidence of life on Mars. Count me way out. I watched that movie Interstellar. It was like 3 hours and 59 minutes. Like, it was like ridiculous. And I went because I had to go with work. They had like a lunch and a movie type day.
Okay.
And I left early because I was like, and I left early by meaning I already sat through 3.5 hours of the movie.
Oh my God.
And it was so bad that I was like, I am done with space movies with the exception of Star Wars. Grew up on it, gotta watch it. I'm curious.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see Rogue One yet. Maybe someday I will.
I think it might be out on Redbox.
Yeah.
Or Netflix, one or the other.
Right, one of the two. But this movie, Life, the way it's... First, I'm not angry about it because of the marketing. I think the marketing is lousy, and I have no interest in watching the alien-based, is this life? Is this real? Is this an extraterrestrial?
Yeah. I'm not like a horror sci-fi or like thriller sci-fi type. I love Star Wars and Star Trek, but, space fantasy is not really my thing other than those two. So it's a skip for me.
This movie is 103 minutes. How the hell long is that?
It's just a little longer than an hour and a half.
Well, I can handle 90 minutes. After, like a TV movie?
Always.
You know what I mean? Like a
always,
TV movie. After that, forget it.
Every time my boyfriend brings home a Blu-ray, I say, how long is it? I literally will check out. If anything's longer than 90 minutes, I can handle 90 minutes.
Does it include the credits? Like, I need to know. Like, it makes a difference.
I just pop out the phone and start playing on Instagram or something. It's like, I just check out.
Yeah. Although I will say, last night I watched Chicago the musical, which I've known watched a million times, and I watched that because I was like, I'm just curious if it's on Netflix. I'd listened to the soundtrack, favorited music on my Apple Music, and I was like, that was such a good movie. I've got some time. It's been a weird time lately. I usually have no time for anything, and just like things have switched since December. It's weird. I just have this time, so I've been putting it into things and trying to work on different things. So I watched this movie again, and that movie, I will say, is so tight and so, like, just the beats that they play are so quick. There's not a weak link in that movie. I just think it's so good.
It's a sharp edit.
Yes, love that movie.
Kudos.
That movie, although I will say, to your point, I pulled up, how far are we into this movie? How much longer? And I'm enjoying the movie. But I'm like, all right, good. I was like, all right, we're over the halfway point. There's 50 minutes left. If you count credits, we're good. And I'm like, this is hard. Like, I'm enjoying it, but it's like, it's not about attention span. It's just about, I feel like I can only compartmentalize certain things. Everything reaches a point where it's like, all right, I'm done with. I need to do something else. You know what I mean?
I'll doze off to a movie I've seen a million times. It's just comforting. So sometimes I'll just put on something I've seen 100 times and doze right off.
Well, you got me into you gave me the Troop Beverly Hills movie, and I actually fell asleep during that.
Oh no!
I mean, I went back and finished it, but it's like I haven't. Yeah, I know. It's like I have like a fade period.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That movie's iconic.
Yes,
truly.
I'm glad I watched it. I have it here to say. But yeah, this movie, Life, no, I'm not interested in Life. I have no interest in this movie. No interest whatsoever. And the marketing, it's like, I know. It doesn't speak to me.
A lot of space movies lately. Arrival and Hidden Figures were both award season darlings.
See, Hidden Figures I could get into because people say it's about math. And so at least it isn't about, like, is there an alien on the ship? Like, give me a break. There isn't. Or if there is, it's computer-generated.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just, like, not too into that. I'm a reality kid, I mean, I gotta be based in some type of truth.
Same.
Yes. Speaking of reality whore, Kim DePaulo from the Real Housewives of New Jersey. If we can even say... I know you've talked with Kim personally on the Tomorrow Show.
I have spoken with Kim recently.
I haven't, so I'm going to talk whatever I want.
Yeah, on the Tomorrow Show. She was very candid. It was wild. She kicked off the episode by 30 seconds into answering her first question, having a panic attack, and having to walk away for maybe 3 minutes, like really just calming herself down. And so I don't know if all of a sudden the excitement of the moment overwhelmed her. She said, I've just been stressed lately and I just have panic attacks now. And we were like, okay, are you okay to continue? And she's like, let's do this. And I think we talked for at least an hour with the host of the Tomorrow Show, Kevin Undergaro. And then Ashley and I were kind of co-hosting as well, like asking her questions from our New Jersey viewing expertise.
Right, yeah.
And she just was very candid. And she's, didn't hold back on anything, really.
Well, it looks tough for her right now. So a car that's registered in her name... is charged, to say the very least. There are 2 male bodies that are dead, deceased, burned up. Her son drove the car. Son Chris apparently drove the car quite often, was dropped off at the airport and by a friend. The friend took the car, and then after that, something happened.
This is wild. 2 execution-style murders. Dead bodies burnt up so bad they couldn't figure out the sex or the race of them at first. Appears it was 2 young males. This is wild.
Something's going down.
So, okay. What we know is that Kim's son was dropped up at the airport by a friend in this car that Kim's son uses, but it's registered to Kim.
Right.
So he's out of town, and the friend is tooling around in the car, but shouldn't be. And then the parents of this friend can't get a hold of him. And then 2 bodies are dead, mafia style, burned up in the car. This is wild.
It is.
It's such a throwback.
I know, it's like the mob days.
You guys, New Jersey is so wild.
I know.
It's just a whole nother planet over there.
I know. I wish I knew more information. I just thought it was an interesting story because it's like, yeah, it is a throwback. You don't hear about stuff like this anymore.
No.
The car fires always freak me out. I'll never forget.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone remembers the Caldor store, but it was like an old department store.
Oh yeah. Mom loved a Caldor.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So there was I'll never forget. Like I was super young. There was a car fire outside of the Caldor of the Warwick Mall, and that was the first time I ever saw anything like that. And I just felt like it was going to end in an explosion. You know, you're young and you watch TV and you're used to people throw a match, they walk away, and then the car blows up behind them.
Oh, very Stella Got a Groove Back. Yeah. Like, the car always blows up if it's on fire.
Yes,
right.
Yes. So I'm like, oh my God, so we just sat in the car and watched it, and I was like, I just felt like it was unsafe for us to get out. But really, I think my mom was just watching it. And I was, you know what I mean? I was like, this is horrible.
Your mom's like, this is the most exciting thing to ever happen in the suburbs.
Yeah.
We're going to sit here and watch this car fire.
Yeah, it just stuck with me. I mean, it's very, it's almost kind of hard for me to even take seriously. Because, it's very, I feel like you'd see it, in any, I'm almost thinking, of all those procedural shows. So it's almost weird for me to think, no, this is real life. This car and all this is really happening.
Really a story to keep an eye on, because maybe all of a sudden mob ties with Kim D are going to come up or some, you know what I mean? This is a mob style execution.
Yes.
So something's going to come out. And if something doesn't come out, I'm sure the tabloids will make it up. So I'm definitely interested in this story.
Yeah. You know, for the first time ever, I wish Kim D had a spot on the show, because this would bring a storyline.
Well, we talked to her and we asked her, are you doing the show as a full-time housewife? And she confirmed that she wasn't, but she's also filming a reality show on a different network. So I'm curious what role does she play? Who are her friends?
Right.
If I had to guess, I'm wondering if it's almost a Mob Wives-esque. A bunch of really tough-mouthed New Jersey women on a We Network type.
Right.
Is what I could see in my mind. That's very her.
I feel like the New Jersey brand, though, is past. Jersey-licious, Jersey Shore, even Real Housewives of New Jersey, nobody's watching.
Yeah.
I feel like it's that time period, everything was Jersey something, it's just kind of expired. But I mean, I'm interested. I wonder if this will be addressed on the show, but because it's probably an open investigation, I don't see how they could cover it. I don't know what they could do with it,
I mean, I know in the past they would show the front pages of newspaper stories or the tabloid headlines, so I'm sure they could do that. But I don't know what Kim would or wouldn't say. They could get everyone else's reaction, which they always do.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. This will probably end up being a 2-year court situation, and who knows what the truth is.
Yeah.
Wow, this is wild.
I know, out of nowhere. And I mean, Kim D is literally on the front of People magazine, People online, Kim D's face is on everything right now. I wonder if she's happy with that or mortified and very concerned. She did say that her son is all right, and she did release a statement. The statement reading via Notes app on the iPhone.
Oh, that's all the rage these days.
She said, I am humbled by the outpour of love and support during this very difficult time. My son and I are both safe. Our deepest condolences go out to the victims' families of this truly horrific tragedy.
Ooh, if I were Kim, my son would have a serious tongue lashing. First of all, I would not be putting my name on any car he wanted to drive.
Yes. I mean, it's not really technically his fault, but he shouldn't let his other one.
Who knows? Was he in on this? Who knows? We'll have to see.
That's true. I mean, he did take a swift trip out of the state, where he could be here's my alibi. I'm on a plane, so I had nothing to do with it. But then he stuck the other one, who no one get in touch with.
Oh God, this is a great story.
Yeah, it's definitely messy.
Messy, so New Jersey.
Where do you stand on Dancing with the Stars?
That's one of those shows to me that I'm I can't believe it's still on, because I watched it in the beginning and I can't believe people still are so invested and they get such huge numbers in the way that The Bachelor and Bachelorette do as well. It's something I watched 100 years ago and I can't believe it still works for them. But good for Erika. I think she's perfect. Erika Jayne is going to be on there, obviously, for our Real Housewife of Beverly Hills gorgeous girl. She's my favorite. I love her.
Yeah, look, I live for little Kim, and even I didn't watch when she was on Dancing with the Stars. I can't stand that Tom Bergeron. I never liked him. that Brooke Burke couldn't take her either. So for me, it was just like never an option to watch it. And it was always Dancing with the D-listers for me for a while.
Yeah.
They have picked up. They've made improvements. Of course, a lot of those shows in the beginning. I mean, look at like Diving with the Stars, Skating with the Stars.
Oh.
I mean, those shows really went low. This show actually has risen, I think, a little bit more. You know, you get your occasional A-listers and B-listers. It's more of a mix versus just like all the leftovers, which a lot of those other shows that are long gone are on. But yeah, like you said, it's been on forever. Started in '05 and season 24.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's a lot. I mean, Erika Jayne, she'll do really well. Apparently, she's going to be dancing to Expensive, her new song. That'll be the first song of hers to dance to. So
Good for her. See, it's perfect branding. She's very smart about this. So first she had her, it's like her EDM music that she does. I'm not sure what Billboard chart she is on. The dance charts, maybe it's called.
Yeah,
So she has that.
Dance.
She had that audience, and then she plays a lot of gay clubs for her live shows. So she has that audience. Then she came to the Housewives and is a smash hit. So now she has like a Bravo top type audience who's familiar with her singing and dance career. And I feel like this is now like Erika Jayne takes on the world. There couldn't be a bigger show that more people are able to watch than Dancing with the Stars. So now the entire country, she could be a household name to the entire country. So it's just really smart branding for her. I think she's going to have a really great showing on the show. Maybe we'll learn something new about her in those interviews they tape about the secret personal stuff that they never talk about, and then they cry about it while they're rehearsing. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm just happy for her.
I really do hope she does well. I just don't like that they paired her with the same guy that they did with Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, did they?
That's a shame. Yeah, because I feel like it's just more of this like comparison between the two. And to me, I just don't think you can compare Lisa and Erika.
Nothing alike about them.
No, and I still think that we didn't have this show when Lisa was on Dancing with the Stars, but that phony feint.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, that to me is like
go back to acting class, Vanderpumpy, because that was the phoniest thing I've ever seen.
Just saying, yeah. There's been a lot of controversy. There's this one girl who's a backup dancer for Beyonce.
Oh yeah, the girl from Glee, Heather Morris.
Yes.
She's obviously going to win, so I don't even know why they let her on the show. They still have to. Obviously, they're kind of trying to mold the way the audience feels about certain people and make characters out of everybody, and the athletes always do so well. How are you going to put a professional dancer on there?
Yeah.
I guarantee you they keep announcing her as the actress from Glee to try to take away from the fact that she is actually a professional dancer. She got that job on Glee just by being a dancer in one of the scenes.
Really?
Yeah, she was a background dancer on one of their musical numbers, and then somehow worked her way out to acting on the show and became a character.
Wow. Well, Wendy Williams is claiming that they should all ban against her and strike against the show. I mean, is it that serious?
I mean, why would they? They want to be on the show and they want their name in people's mouths again.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No. Who cares? I mean,
just get out there and do the best you can. That's the whole point.
It doesn't really matter who wins. I mean, it's not like they're fighting for a charity, right? It's just for that ball.
Yeah, and look, it's for their brand and for publicity. And it is what it is, and everybody is going to try their best. It's kind of about who charms the audience more, not even technically who's the best dancer.
I don't know anything, but I always thought that show was really fixed because so much of it was really lumping in the judges' scores on top of the audience votes. So there's room there for manipulation.
And how do you know if they're actually using what the audience votes really are? They could be lying to us. And Wendy Williams is very honest about how they manipulate you while you're there, and they want to characterize you as this certain person, and
right.
She was not having it and got out of there.
Yeah, well, good for Erika. I mean, she really came up from just being a gay club performer at like 42 to now at age 45 being on a hit reality show, on The Young and the Restless, on Dancing with the Stars, on a network show, Dancing, which She said she's never done ballroom, so that's how they spun it with her. Mm-hmm. She's danced, but she's never done ballroom. Mm-hmm. So,
I don't think it's going to be easy for her, but I think she's got a great start. I'll be interested to see if she goes farther than Lisa Rinna did.
Oh, and Vanderpump.
Well, Vanderpump, get out of here. Anyway, she was not good.
No, she wasn't. No, I just wish they gave her own dancer, and so this could be her, like, the coach to dance with, so she could just have this be her own experience and not be compared. But good for them for putting on a Real Housewives, because I heard years ago they were like done. Wasn't Nene on that?
I think Nene did it too. Yeah. I think so.
I heard that they were like, when housewives aren't celebrities. Well,
they probably come in and act the most diva and have the most demands and are the most difficult to work with, if I had to imagine. So.
I mean, they work on Celebrity Apprentice when they put them on there. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
That's their professional job, really. Mm-hmm. So they could definitely bring a storyline. I don't know. This is a total morning after catch-up clip situation for me.
Yes. Yeah. I'll just catch on the internet how it went, and that's it.
Exactly. I'm not going to be running to my TV at 8 o'clock, whatever the hell time this show comes on, to watch. Exactly. To sit through, like, a 3-hour telecast for, like, a 2-minute dance.
No. I love Erika. I love her on The Housewives. So, good. Go, Erika. Wish you best of luck.
Exactly.
I'll see you on the internet.
Yep.
You're listening to Grant's Rants. Please rate, subscribe, and share. Spread the word. There are a lot more rants to come. Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms and YouTube for bonus content. And now, back to the show.
And we're back talking with Megan Stecher.
Woo! I love hearing my name announced. It makes me feel fancy.
Well, a name that could have been announced, allegedly, for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills next season is Caitlyn Jenner. And, I didn't believe this for 2 minutes.
It does seem a little far-fetched to me. Although, maybe Andy is that progressive and forward-thinking.
I don't know. They said that this was like some article which just seemed so put on. It was like E and Bravo are working together to find Caitlyn a home since her show has been canceled, and Caitlyn is desperate to stick it to Chris, so doesn't want to do any Kardashian-related shows, so she's highly hoping and doing everything she can to get on Beverly Hills Housewives. I really just was like, something here does not add up. First of all, I don't believe that, like, E and Bravo execs are that thirsty to get Caitlyn back on TV. Her show didn't do very well. Beverly Hills or any of the Housewives are for a certain type of person. She doesn't have the personality to carry that show.
I don't want to... I understand that Bruce Jenner went away and Caitlyn is rebirthed a different person. But I don't want to see who I thought Bruce Jenner was be rebirthed into a bitching, catfighting housewife. Like, that's just not who, as a soul, take away like a gender, as a soul, I don't think that's who Caitlyn is. And I don't want to see her turned into that. So I'm happy to hear that this rumor is false, according to TMZ. I read it on TMZ. They said she was neither asked nor considered. So I was like, okay, good. Just a silly rumor out there. Yeah. I think that Caitlyn had such a cool life before the transformation and has a really great platform, like the biggest and best platform, to talk about being trans, and that it shouldn't be used in the Housewives arena at all.
Not at all.
I think, what I think that she should do is go back to how Bruce was literally just a public speaker. Like, his professional job was to be a paid public speaker, which you can make billions doing that if you play your cards right. Yeah. I mean, that's what Juliana Rancic's husband, Bill Rancic, did for the longest time, and then he used some of that money to invest in real estate, and like that's his professional job. I just think Caitlyn could do that and make her difference that way, and it doesn't need to be the phoniness of reality TV or being pushed into storylines.
Yeah,
like, let's bring it up a class level.
Yeah. Shout out to my listener at Emmy101 Emma, who asked me. She said, "What do you think of this mess?" And I had already heard about it and was like, "Oh, this is so like fake and phony. Like I just can't." They wouldn't put her on there. I just doubt that they would give her any of that. It's a different flavor, like you said. Like it's a different person too. We have to remember, too, Caitlyn is a woman of a certain age. They're not looking to cast a woman of that age.
No.
I hear over and over, and it's reflected in shows like Orange County, even in New York, too. They're really trying to find, like, these young moms.
They are, yeah. Dorit was a good addition for Beverly Hills this year. Megan King Edmonds in OC is very young.
Yeah.
I think she's younger than me. Way to make a girl feel old when the Real Housewives start. You know what? When they first started,
she's 31. If I don't know, I mean, she's 31.
Okay, yeah, so she's younger than me. That's wild. It's weird to me that when this show started, all the women were very like quote middle aged for my age when the show started.
Right.
And you know, a lot of them in New York are older, like 50s, maybe really early, about to be 60. I think Ramona turned 60. So they take care of themselves and they look great, but they're older women.
Right.
And now to have these girls cast who are younger than I am, it's I don't know. It's a whole different direction. It's kind of crazy.
I prefer the older, personally.
Yeah, they have more life experience. They're more sassy and more comfortable in their skin to say what they want to say.
Exactly. Yeah, all these young moms, like that's what a lot of Dallas was. And Dallas didn't do very well, but I heard, though, that I've been hearing really good things about this new season of Dallas.
Ooh.
I heard that they actually ordered more episodes because the drama was going on, and it was actually, like, better than they expected. So I hope that that's the case.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Are you going to cover Dallas again?
I hope to. I don't know when it's returning, but yeah. When it comes to Housewives, another reason why I didn't believe anything about Caitlyn is they have and Andy's talked about this before, the way it works is they wait till the show airs its final reunion. Then the week after that is when they start discussion on the coming season and the timeline. Shows like Beverly Hills and Atlanta are immediately right back into production. And they did that with Potomac this year too. That a lot of them like wait around. Like even OC, it took a while to get that going. They're only like a month in, and the OC ended, I think, in what, like October, November, September. So it was like it takes a minute for some of these shows to get back. But that's when they have the discussion, and that's when they start all these contract negotiations. So I think it's a little too early for anyone to even be extending a casting offer or even perhaps making a meeting with Caitlyn. So I'm not buying it at the end of the day. So just for what I know and how I feel about these shows, I doubt that was even an option. Like you said, that TMZ quote debunked pretty much, right?
Yeah. I wonder if like someone in Caitlyn's camp put this out there, or if as if she were really interested, so they put it out there, or if some tabloid just made it up for clicks. I just wonder.
I bet it was made up for clicks. Yeah. Okay. I bet it was like clickbait for reality TV. Yeah.
Well, I think we should call this one debunked.
Yes. So I don't catch up with you that much, unfortunately. Yeah. I know that you've been covering Vanderpump Rules over at AfterBuzz for a while with all of our other friends from the show, Jay and Jesse and all those people. I know recently you had a great podcast with Amy Phillips. You've had a lot going on the podcasting and radio front. What do you want to say?
Gosh, things have been good. Crazy. Maybe 3 to 6 months for me. I actually got recommended for a red carpet reporter job, so I've been doing that freelance here and there. But also, I've been doing some radio stuff here and there. So on Maria Menounos' Sirius show, I popped in a couple times when they're interviewing housewives, and so Eden Sassoon I got to meet and get the Eden hug.
I got one of those too.
That has become so famous. Lord, yes. I like her, and here's why. Even if you think she's like wild and out there and silly and full of spiritual talk, like she believes her own nonsense, which is, I love people like that.
Yeah.
I just think she is like eccentric in the best way and doesn't mean any harm. I don't think she's like a Dorit in a purposely stirring things up to be the center of attention type person. I think she genuinely has good intentions when she comes into a room and wants to be very honest, which is refreshing. That's not a very thing not a very LA thing that you see a lot or hear a lot.
I got the same vibe from her. I feel like she was on a different wavelength. Like, I feel like she had no business being on the show. I just felt like it was way past her. I don't know how she would even give it the mental capacity.
Well, I like her being on the show because I think she takes it very seriously. When I was there on Maria's show, Maria said something about, "Oh, are you coming back next season?" And she said, "I don't know how they could do the show without me."
That's what she told us.
Very serious.
Yes.
So I think it's going to get very dramatic with her towards the end of the season. It's going to be very good.
Yep.
Gosh, what else went on?
Yeah, she told us she alluded to the last scene. She's like, wait till you see the last scene, and then you'll realize that they can't do the show without me. And we were like, oh, major spoiler, because this was earlier in the season. So we're like, I'm waiting. She's been in and out of it so far, and as far as the show goes, I feel like now we could almost be like, she could go stage left, Like, I feel like we don't really need her on the show right now, but she's in Hong Kong. Something's brewing. And
also, there was a really great bite of her in a promo where she screams at someone and says, "I give you so much of something about my love and my time or my energy, you bitch." So I think, her crazy side's going to come out in telling someone how it is. So it'll be good. Yeah, and I did Amy Phillips' show, which was awesome. She's on Sirius as well. That was super fun.
That's great. I mean,
for a mega Bravo fan to meet, like, a godmother of Bravo was so exciting. And then I don't know how much I can say, but I'm going to be the producer of a new podcast that's going to be produced at AfterBuzz Studios for a celebrity. So I'm very, very excited. It'll be coming out in just the next couple of weeks. So check into my Twitter for any details on
that's
that.
Great. Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I love that. So and we talked about it previously on this show. You mentioned that you were getting paid to do red carpets. Yeah. So how did that come about? That's great. I mean, that's the goal.
So my one paid gig that I could always count on was this show called Metro Motion. So LA's metro system does a show to kind of promote all the progress they're making around town. I think back in the 60s, they kind of ripped out all the railroad lines and stopped having public transportation, and now we're rebuilding it all again. So it's just letting everybody around town know, these are your new options. This is the latest train line that's been built. You could take this bus to this train to do this, to do that, and get all over town versus sitting on the freeway in your car. So the photographer that I always work with on that show recommended me. He works freelance all the time with different outlets, and he just recommended me for the gig. So just whenever there's something that comes up at nighttime that they don't have another one of their full-time people covering, I get to do it. So
what outlet is it? What can you say?
So I work for celebrityfootage.com, and it's kind of cool. I actually did ask the owner how he got started doing all this, and he used to, it was called a stringer. So Jake Gyllenhaal made a weird, thriller movie about being a stringer. You're out all night chasing news that's happening overnight in the dark hours and kind of trying to sell it to the local news stations to use on their news programs.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was one of them. I actually did see that movie, yes.
Okay.
One of the few.
Yeah, so he started out doing that, and then he said he made some contacts and realized that there's all this value in this celebrity event footage. So he does, private celebrity events where maybe like a cell phone company has paid a celebrity to be the face of the product, and there's a red carpet event, but it's private. And then he also does all the, movie premieres everywhere. Any kind of celebrity event you can imagine. We recently did, right before the Oscars, the Essence Black Women in Hollywood event. I have never seen so many famous women in one place. It was so, Shonda Rhimes was there. I was shaking. It was so exciting. Yeah. So we just cover kind of everything. And whether it be catching a celebrity getting out of their car, interviewing on the red carpet, getting behind the scenes footage, they kind of do it all. They're hired for all different kinds of jobs like that. And their most recent stuff's on celebrityfootage.com. You'll never see me on camera or hear me because the point is that we're capturing the celebrity and you don't want to hear me or see me. Right. So, that's
super exciting for you, though, because you probably really never know where you'll end up. Yeah. It's just, like you said, a variety of events and promotions.
Mm-hmm. And I usually get an email maybe 2 to 3 days out at the most, and I'm like, sure, I can be there, sure, great. Take care of the details later and, say you'll be there. It's exciting.
That's great.
Yeah, I have interviewed so many people I admire and have loved, and it's wild. It's kind of, my mind has kind of changed a lot over these past few months in that I've gone from feeling like Hollywood is this amazing brass ring I'll never be able to grab to like, these are just people doing their job, and how much smoke and mirrors you know, Hollywood puts out to make everybody feel like this is so unattainable. It's wild. And my whole, everything's changing. So it's exciting. It's a lot to think about. And I'm just excited for the future and hoping that things build on each other.
It sounds like it is, though. It sounds like it's already getting there. Yeah,
getting there slowly. Yeah. Still waiting tables, though. Still the down-to-earth girl.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, well, it's like as much as you freelance to actually make sure you're still bringing home money every month for rent, I still wait tables on the weekend. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Especially on this show, I always like to ask, like, how people, like, not necessarily pay their bills, but, like, what else are you doing? Because, you know, a lot of what we do is, you work for free, you work for little, or it's, you have to do it on the side. And it's kind of like a very alternative business for us because this is the goal. This is our main thing, but yet we have to fit it in with some other job that is taking up more time than what we want to give to this stuff, which is so tough to juggle. It's not like people would view it as a side hustle, but no, this is the gig. This is why we're here, but we're forced to kind of juggle our time. So I'm glad that you're able to take on more of what you're here to do.
Yes, me too. And, you know, I think one of the particular challenges in what we do is trying to make enough money at your job that pays the bills the most to invest in the side hustle. Yes. Because it's all an investment until you start making a profit.
Right.
Or else you're making a profit, but you're still spending more than you're making. So, you know, it's tough. I'm trying to think of you said business model earlier, and I'm thinking of like what's my business model and how am I going to turn a profit and maybe not have to wait tables forever. We'll see. Figuring it out.
Well, I'm working on a few things with this show. We'll see what comes to fruition coming up.
Yeah, you told me some good news that maybe you can't share yet, but that's exciting.
Yeah, there's some new things coming just to enhance the show. Nothing will really change drastically, but it'll be some great moves in the right direction, hopefully, and so that's kind of all developing. You know, when I'm not putting out shows, I'm still working on it. I mean, this show is every day I'm doing something towards it. I've been putting out some content over on Patreon. If you want to be a subscriber and support the show, I would highly encourage you to check that out. That's patreon.com/grantsrants. Shout out to a new subscriber, Erin McNutt, for joining the Patreon page. Thank you very much. I appreciate not only you listening, but supporting the show. And you can do the same by checking it out. I mean, it's like, there's like a $2 a month. There's a $3 a month. I mean, I'm just looking to be able to cover my costs here. You know what I mean? There's definitely things that you can check out over there to get even more rants. And, you know, check us out on social media. Megan, what are you doing and where can we find you?
Yes, you guys can keep up with everything newsworthy with me on all my social medias are the same handle. It's all at Megan Stecher, and that is spelled MEGANSTECHER. And just check out my Twitter for the date of the new celebrity podcast I will be producing and co-hosting. So it's so exciting.
Yes, so you're going to be on air for this. Yes.
I will, yeah. I'll be the co-host for the celebrity in addition to kind of structuring the way we'll do the show. You know, I'll try to help this person with the social media posts, you know, once we've completed the show. It's be really exciting. Yeah. And they have a great group of celebrity friends they are able to call up and have come in. So I'm going to get to meet, you know, a bunch of celebs, and I'm excited.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Please support me. You can like the page on Facebook and follow me on all the platforms you know. So, yeah, well, Megan, it was good catching up with you and talking about a lot of this stuff. I mean, we covered a lot in a short time.
Our grab bag episode.
Yeah, I think that should be the name of it. I like that. All right, more ranting will continue. Thank you all for the support. I love you for listening.
This has been Grants Rants. Follow us on Twitter at Grants__Rants. Cover art created by RHONJ. Voiceover by Blake V Media. Original theme music composed by Alexander Arntzen.